Welcome in, everybody, to Purple and Gold Talk. My name is Jim Cross. Ava Garza has the night off. She is sick, a little under the weather, but we're going to keep it moving. Brought to you by the In Off the Bench podcast, Chinook Cedary, Jesus One Apparel, and Old Dominic Distillery. We got a good one tonight. We're talking to the keeper. She protects the house. Sophine Kevorkian, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent. Like I said before the episode started, hey, it's a solo act, but we got to keep it going. And you're a pretty big deal, and we want to get your story. We want to talk LSU soccer. But before we do that, we gotta find out about you. Where are you from?
I'm from San Diego, California.
I was stationed in San Diego. I think it's like the greatest place on earth. Do you feel the same about it?
100%. I love it. Baton Rouge is a close second, though.
Yeah, I was stationed there for a year and a half, and I think it rained maybe 4 or 5 times. And I was like, any place where the weather is perfect, it's not too hot, not too cold, doesn't rain, is a place for me. But unfortunately, they shipped me to Florida where it rained a lot, and that was that. But if you had somebody who hadn't been there before, what's the one thing you'd tell them they needed to do if they came to San Diego?
It's hard. I mean, obviously the beach is like a given, but I would say just trying like a Mexican food place. Everything there is just insane.
Nice, nice. So, doing some research, see you come from a family of, athletes. Tell us a little bit about them.
Yeah, my dad, he played water polo at Villanova. So, like, all my siblings grew up playing water polo. I was the only one that played soccer. So it's kind of like, doing my own thing compared to them. But other than that, my uncle, he was a football player in high school. And then my other uncle swam at Texas, University of Texas. So he was a really good swimmer.
So, needless to say, if y'all have a family outing, it gets competitive.
Yes, always.
All right. So, I know how it is with soccer. I started playing soccer as soon as they let me sign up when I was 4. For you, how early did you start playing the sport?
I started playing when I was 5 and just immediately like fell in love with it. I think I only played like one other sport for half a year and it was volleyball. So I loved it, but just not the same as soccer.
Have you always been a goalie? Was it one of the things that you started earlier, or was it something that came later?
It came later. I was a winger, honestly, until I was like 10, 12. And then I got thrown in goal one day and just, I liked it. It was scary and the adrenaline was different than I'd
Once
felt
you
like.
got there, it was like,
Yeah.
you know what, you're never taking me out of here again.
Yeah, exactly.
So who would you say was your biggest influence growing up when it came to soccer?
It was Hope Solo for a majority of it. Alex Morgan in the beginning, like when she was playing for the U.S., but I think Hope Solo mostly. She just was such a fierce goalkeeper in net, and it just was such an inspiration for me, especially like getting into goalkeeping.
No doubt. I remember, that team, and I remember her being the leader and just getting it done in the box. And then also, as you know, goalie is a lot more than just actually protecting it, but it's the leader of the defense, doing the commanding.
Yeah.
And so, she was special to watch. So, as a San Diego native, was playing for University of San Diego something that you had always wanted to do, or is it just something that kind of happened?
I think I grew up going to their games, so obviously I was a big fan of the Toros, but it kind of just fell into place in the recruiting process. I think I was hoping to get out of San Diego, and that's why I did enter the portal later on. But my time at San Diego was amazing, and I knew that like going in there, I would have a great time. You just can't go wrong there. So
Yeah. So what would you say is the one thing that you learned the most that helped, the move over to LSU? Obviously you spent 2 years there. So I know you were probably able to take something big away that helped your game, move into the SEC.
definitely, I would say just adversity. I think like our team had faced a lot of problems, not problems, but like different types of obstacles throughout my 2 seasons there, and like I think just being a young player, freshman and sophomore, it just was like it built a lot of character being able to like get through those problems kind of like on our own as a team.
Yeah, and I mean that adversity. They talk about the lessons that come through it. It only makes you stronger. I think that molds you to do well in the SEC, where obviously there's going to be the toughest of schedules, and things aren't always going to be easy. And so definitely would prepare you for something like this. So last year, you get to Baton Rouge. First of all, got to ask what about LSU made it the destination for you?
I mean, I feel like just coming here and the facilities, and you just like get to campus, and I immediately knew I was like, I want to go here. Like everything else was off the table. I just like my visit was, I think it was 6-7 hours long, like because I came on a red eye. I had a test the next day, and so we just kind of got it done really quickly. But I didn't even need a full day here. I just knew. I think like the coaching staff was just awesome. I feel like I met them and immediately like felt like I could talk to them for hours. It wasn't like some coaching staffs where it feels kind of like you're walking on eggshells almost. And I think that for that, like, it just kind of sold it to me.
Yeah, they definitely got it's intense, but it's a family atmosphere where everything does just feel together. Every soccer player that we've had has come on and just talk about they immediately felt a part of something special.
Yes.
So talk to me. I do got to ask the culture shock. Obviously, I said I've lived in San Diego. I've spent a good portion of my life in Baton Rouge. Talk about that culture shock coming from California to Louisiana. What's that like?
It was crazy, honestly. Like, it was it was tough in the beginning, just like, I got here in January, and obviously like transferring, you don't really ever know what to expect. Like, you can see it from the outside, but being there is actually just so different. But I mean, I think the biggest culture shock was like the crawfish boil. I think it was like April, and my teammates were showing me how to eat crawfish, and I was like, this is not anything I've eaten before. Like, I don't even like seafood usually, so it was just the second I had it, I was like, all right, I love it here.
What about
Like,
what about that heat? I know that heat's got to be brutal because you don't get that in San Diego either.
no, it was pretty brutal, but you kind of learn to love it. I think like now it just feels like a sauna outside, and it's like a warm hug.
Yeah, that I was there Saturday for the football game, and it had cooled off a little bit. It wasn't nearly as hot as it was a couple weeks ago, but it is definitely hotter than where I live. And I was like, oh yeah, definitely back in Louisiana.
Yeah,
Um,
100%.
so last year you appear in 4 matches. You waste no time making a mark. Multiple clean sheets in Vanderbilt, Missouri. How good did it feel to get in there and not only just get in there, but have the success that you did?
It was awesome, and I just think like it was unexpected to be in those 4 games. So like playing against Vanderbilt just felt like so fun, and being able to be there with my team finally, like after kind of supporting them all year, it just felt like really rewarding for all like the work that we've done as a team. Just to be able to like get those 2 clean sheets and make it to the SEC tournament, it just was really like rewarding.
Yeah, so this year so far, 5-3, huge win against Wisconsin. Y'all kind of went up and down. We had Avon here. We've talked about it. Big expectations on this team so far. How do you feel about? Obviously, you want to be better than 5-3, but how do you feel about the team and the way y'all played so far?
Yeah, we've had our ups and downs, like you said, but I think the culture and just like the talent we have on our team, it has really shown in the games. And like we've definitely faced hard games where like we lost in the last 11 seconds against Central Florida last week. So it's just like kind of getting like the growing pains out in the beginning preseason. And I think just going into SEC, like I've never felt so confident in us and so confident in like a team in college. And I'm just so excited to see what we can do. And like you said, Ava was on here, and Ava's been scoring left and right. So it's just awesome.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you, but it sounds like you already got the answer. I was going to ask how excited you were for SEC play. We talked about Vandy. That's where you're going next. They're gonna be looking to get back at you. But it sounds like you're pretty excited for SEC play. I looked at that schedule, and it's definitely a tough one. So do you get excited about the fact that you see that the schedule is not only SEC, but I mean you got a bunch of top 25 teams in there?
Yeah, it's so exciting. It's just like going to these games knowing that we're capable of, a great season in the SEC. I just think it's going to be really exciting, and especially playing Vandy. They're always a fun one to play, so it'll be fun to kind of get our revenge from last year, although we did tie.
So it may be an easy answer, but what's been the best game so far this year? Is it the win over Wisconsin, or is there one that maybe for you was more special?
That's a tough one. I think the win over Wisconsin as a team, I would probably say was like the most exciting game this year. It was just like a thriller, winning in the last 60 seconds and kind of just having to manage a game. Obviously, you don't want to concede after you score, so it was so exciting to be there and win at home. But I would say like South Alabama was really fun for me, just because it was like the first home game and the first like time we got to play in front of our parents and LSU fans. And I think that was just like really exciting. But Definitely
Have
Wisconsin.
the crowds been, I've been to a bunch of games there before. The crowds have always been great. Have they been great so far to start the season?
They've been good, but we definitely want to get more people out there.
Yeah, to get better. Yeah, that'll happen with the SEC schedule coming up. So last question I got for you, then we'll play a game and I'll let you out of here. I asked, Ava the question of, and obviously you were only there just last year, but the last couple of years, the first round exit in the SEC tournament, or excuse me, in the NCAA tournament, and obviously the expectations for this team are a lot bigger than that. What do y'all got to do to get over that, that hurdle of that first round? Because I think once y'all do that, I think sky's the limit. I think it's just that first one that, it's a mental block more than anything.
Yeah, I think, last year we played against Texas Tech, and they're obviously a great team, and I think we just it was an unfortunate loss, but definitely things that we could have done as a team to prevent it. So I think just kind of fine tuning the little tactical, technical errors that we have could be really big for us. And I think that starts now, and it has started before preseason. And obviously, we've had some losses that we didn't want to lose, but it's just kind of fine tuning those little things. And
It'd be nice if y'all can, go on a run to where you can get the game at home, because that's one of the things I've noticed the last few years. I even saw, LSU when they played at Memphis, at Florida State, some very hard destinations to play. So hopefully y'all can go on a run, get that good home field advantage. I think that would change everything.
100%.
But before I let you get out of here, we play a game that we play with all our guests. It's called This or That. Basically, very simple. Give you two options. You choose one or the other. Just can't say neither. Can't say both. You down to play?
Okay, cool.
All right. Very simple. Out the gate. Coffee or energy drink?
Coffee.
How do you like? Are you a hot coffee? You iced coffee? Where are we at?
Iced coffee with a lot of sweetener.
So I noticed that you've had no problem making good grades. So I ask you, math or English?
English. I'm not a math girl.
Well, I noticed whether it's been the academic honor roll in college or in high school, that it doesn't seem like you've struggled no matter what the subject is. So good on you doing not just your athletics but your academics. So this next one's interesting, because if there's something that I actually like to do when I was in San Diego, I used to like to go to the malls. I used to like to go shopping, but I also used to like to go surfing when I was there. So I ask you, go shopping or go surfing?
Surfing all day. I love
All
shopping,
day.
but yeah, nothing beats surfing.
All right, this next one will be interesting. Who's got the better food, California or Louisiana?
Oh, that's hard. I would say California has a better overall genre. Okay, I know it's this or that, so I won't go on, but I would say Louisiana for sure.
There you go. That's the right answer. You got it. Louisiana. Just if there's anything we do right, it's food. This one's the hardest questions to me because I love all these colors. First of all, purple or gold uniforms?
Purple.
All right. So now purple or white?
Purple.
How do you feel about do you like the new striped ones that y'all wore, the white with the purple stripes? How are we feeling about those?
I love them. And the first night we wore them, we beat Wisconsin. So I was like, there are good luck jerseys.
Yeah, because I love all the uniforms, all the colors. So it's hard for me, but it feels like the white is just, it's kind of clean. It looks kind of like a professional team. So I'm with you on that. All right. Go to a concert or a sporting event, and not just any concert, any sporting event. You can go to any concert in the world, see anyone, and go to any sporting event. Which one are you doing?
I would say go to a sporting event.
Where are you going?
Right now, I want to go to Inter Miami and see Messi play.
No doubt. Makes sense. All right. One of the hardest questions we've always asked over the 6 years we've had this show. So I'm interested. Usually we just ask the guys this, but I sometimes slip it in there and ask the girls, 5 years in prison or 10 years in a coma?
Oh, wow. I would say 5 years in prison. I feel like it would build a lot of character. That's hard, though.
Maybe so. All right. Last one. Would you rather win $1 million or win the national championship?
Win a national championship.
So you're saying if I put a briefcase with crisp $100 bills on the table and said, you know what, you can have this right now. You just got to fold the rest of the season. You're not taking it?
No.
All right. I'll believe you, even though I don't believe you. But no,
it's
you're
hard,
off the hot seat. I'm hoping that y'all do get that national championship. Before I let you go, is there anything you want to plug or promote?
Not necessarily, no.
All right. Well, y'all
Having
make
fun here.
sure to tune in. The SEC schedule starting. They're on the road to begin with at Vandy, but you can catch them back at Tiger Stadium. Also, make sure if you are in Baton Rouge, you go check out the LSU Tigers play football against Florida. I love to hate Florida, Sophine. So, like, I need everybody to be there packed. I was there last weekend. I was a little disappointed in the crowd. It was only about 70% full. So we need to bring it back. Need to be Death Valley, be loud. But go check out the soccer games. Go check out the football games. Obviously, go see our volleyball guest. But in the meantime, remember, strong body, sharp minds, grit and grind all the time. We are out.